All right, today we're talking about revolutions and your final product that you're going to be making. All right, so today we're going to talk about your final product where you will create a poster based on a movement that's happening today and whether or not you think it qualifies as a revolution, or in the future if you think people will look back and say it was a revolution. Okay. So your learning target is I can demonstrate how a current movement is a revolution. Take a look at the following image of Black Lives Matter's protesters. Think of everything you have learned about the French Revolution and the tactics and strategies that were used for the revolutionaries to get what they wanted. In this final product, you are going to choose a current movement to research and decide whether or not you think it qualifies as a revolution. So you can also think, just like they did during the French Revolution with their tactics and strategies, what are you seeing today? Like in that picture, what are they doing? What strategy or tactic is that? Well, they're doing marches, right? Okay. So in this lesson, it's going to be like every other 6E lesson. You're going to read here. First, I just want you to look at, and I got this from study.com. It's just a definition of a social revolution because, with the French Revolution and the American Revolution, we're talking about political revolutions where we're overthrowing the government or changing the government. Well, you're probably going to be doing your poster on something that's considered a social revolution or a social movement. So this gives you a definition of what that is. All right, and then here, and then, and I talk about social movements today are like Black Lives Matter, Never Again, which is the gun control, Me Too, which is the women's right, sexual assault movement, climate change, etc. Okay, and you're going to need to pick a current movement today and decide if future historians will consider it a revolution based on that definition I told you of what a revolution is. So you're just taking a stance of what you think. So you're going to read the directions for your final product where you will design a poster based on your chosen movement from today. So here it is. And I just took this from Summit. And I know sometimes you guys complain you can't open Summit documents, so that's why I copy and pasted it onto a Google Doc. So is it a revolution? So for the final part of this project, you will work. Now, you're not going to work with a group, okay? You're going to work individually. To investigate a current movement trying to make change in society, you will identify the goals and strategies of the movement and determine whether the movement will be seen as revolution or as a revolution by future historians. Step 1, choose a current movement to research. So do you want to pick like Black Lives Matter, as a Never Again, Me Too, the Tea Party, environmental sustainability or climate change, etc. Then there's an investigation activity within Summit you can use to help guide your investigation or your research. Step 2, assess the movement you selected. Is it a revolution? Will future historians call it a revolution? You will be completing this individually, therefore ignore when it talks about working in groups, which is what I just said. Step 3, create your poster. Okay, so here are the requirements for it. After you've done your research, your poster should include the following: a title including the name of the movement, the main goal or goals of the movement, the strategies or tactics used by the movement, your argumentative claim, and images and quotes to illustrate your points. So there you have it. There are your directions. And here I also give a video about what is a social revolution. And then it says complete the revolution investigation worksheet within Summit. So and that helps you to complete what I just showed you up here. Yeah, right here when I said to use the investigation activity, okay? All right, and then you always have to answer my explain question. There's a true-false quiz. And for the elaborate, you're going to use the information you gained on social revolutions and the directions for the assignment to complete the checkpoint, is it a revolution? You'll be assessed on selecting relevant sources and making connections and inferences. All right, so that's this week's lesson. Let me go into Summit so we can see where we're at this point. All right, so we are at the very end now. So you should be finishing up, or you maybe already finished your essay on whether or not you felt the French Revolution was a success or failure. You took a stance on that either way. There's no right or wrong, but you supported it with evidence. So that's your argumentative claim essay, and now you're doing this poster. And this is where you're going to eventually submit it, but you first need to do the rough draft of it where I can give you some feedback. So this is the checkpoint we're doing right now. Is it a revolution? And here again are the instructions. This is something I'd like you to look at too, Credible Sources Workshop. This is good because it tells you, whenever you're looking for research, because you have to do research on your current movement, and you want to know, like, what's a credible or a trustworthy website. So it's something I can trust. You don't want to go to just Wikipedia because anybody can post on it. So this is a nice little workshop I recommend to go through. And again, here are those links. Here, this is the revolution investigation. It says use these questions to guide your investigation. So it says, what aspect of society is this movement trying to change? Is it political, economic, social, technological? So again, say you're picking Black Lives Matter, right? So that's a social issue. What's the primary goal of the Black Lives Matter? How and when did this movement start? Was there one specific event, or did it evolve over time? Or who are the founders or leaders? So this is what you'll answer, okay? And then the argumentative claim, if you recall, in the directions, you have to write an argumentative claim. It's in response to this question, is this movement a revolution? Okay, is this movement a revolution? Not everything's a revolution. It's, again, this is, your opinion. But that's why I gave you this definition to look at, to sort of make up your own mind. Do you think this movement is going to qualify as a revolution? And a social revolution is a fundamental change in a society and involves a shift in power in a society. Revolutions occur when a number of people in a society feel discontent with the current order and agree that change is necessary. So that's up to you to think, will it be considered a revolution, your movement you pick? So again, here are the instructions. Is it a revolution? So that's kind of your focus. That's what you're doing the argumentative claim on. Think after you've done the research on your movement, you've studied it, the goals, the strategies, what are they trying to achieve? But you're going to determine whether the movement will be seen as a revolution by future historians. No right or wrong answer, but it's whatever you think based on your research, okay? So I look forward to seeing your posters. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And you have a wonderful week. One more week till Christmas break. Yay!